First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Quadash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's video, I'm going to do pretty much a basic video going into the chariots, right? And pretty much breaking down the scriptures that talk about them and praying a 6-minute video uploaded by the brother Ariel Kayal, pretty much showing them, right? Eyewitness accounts of people seeing the chariots of Israel, okay? And if you don't know what so-called UFOs are, so-called UAPs, right? Those vehicles you see are the chariots, are the vehicles of the angels. And today we're going to prove that. Let's get straight into it. So Ezekiel, the first chapter, pretty much deals entirely with that. Okay, I was hearing the Apostle Tahar today, and he was talking about how there is this scientist, right, where his whole mission was to debunk that the so-called UFOs are not the angels and they're not the chariots, right? He went on a whole mission to debunk that and to find information, and he pretty much went head on. Okay, and what happened is that from looking at all the information, the dude came to the conclusion that, you know what? It's true, right? Those vehicles are the angels, and Ezekiel, the first chapter, backs it up. And he started pretty much breaking it down because he realized that the evidence was irrefutable, right? And that's the thing is that in one point in time of history, everybody knew what the chariots were, right? An example of that is in Maccabees, okay? You can go, I forgot what chapter it was, but you have the story about Heliodorus, right? Where he was pretty much struck down by the angels, right? Beaten to the point where he was about to die, and they told him, hey, pretty much they told the angels, hey, cut him some slack, right? Don't kill him, or else his whole army might try to come over here and destroy us, right? And the angels spared him, right? You also had the account of, I think it was Antiochus Epiphanes, right? Where you had a horseman. It refers to the angels as horsemen, right? Those vehicles as horsemen, right? Day and night fighting in the skies. Okay, these are all phenomena. Okay, and they knew that there was a higher power. But here it is, right? We're in 2024, and they talk about how those vehicles, they have little green men with big heads inside of them. Right? They pretty much made a joke about the vehicles of the Heavenly Father. Okay, but soon to come, everybody's gonna know what they are. Right? Information is coming out already. I remember watching a Netflix show that this Edomite on there, so-called white man, right, looked like an Edomite. Okay, the first clip was him talking about how the so-called UFOs are angels. And he started going into Bible. Okay, so hey, the evidence is out there, and who are the ones on the mainstream talking about that? The men of Great Millstone, the Hebrew Israelites, those teaching that same doctrine. So let's deal with it. Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 17. We'll start at 16 actually. It says, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel inside of a wheel. Right? So the work is dealing with that vehicle. It described it to being a wheel inside of a wheel. Now you have these Christians that they tried pretty much replicating that, but they got the entire concept wrong. Right? They put the pieces together where they're not supposed to go. Right? They pretty much did it this way. Right? You had this with a circle, then horizontally. Right? What is it dealing with? Right? Let's pull out the paint. This is how it's supposed to actually be. Okay, because when Ezekiel was seeing this, you got to think about the angles, right? When you think the wheel inside a wheel, he was ultimately seeing a chariot, so-called UFOs. How are those painted? Or technically, majority of people see them. You see them as a disc, like this. Then on top, you see the other thing, like that. Okay, and that's pretty much a wheel inside of a wheel. If you look at it from the top, and that's what Ezekiel was explaining. Okay, this is what it looks like from the side. It looks like a wheel inside of a wheel from the top, and that's how you draw it out. Ezekiel was just seeing a chariot, or he was seeing a so-called UFO. But let's keep on going. It says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned when they went, and they turned not when they went. Right? So this is going into how, hey, these objects, these vehicles can be going, hey, just straight, right? Going straight, straight, straight. And out of nowhere, they just hit some 180-degree angle turns, right? Some 90-degree turns, okay? Breaking pretty much the laws of this dimension. Okay, they could be looking forward and they move backwards. Okay, they're pretty much moving in the fourth dimension. It says, as for their wings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four, right? Going into those lights that they have. And when the living creatures went, this is the key point, right? The living creatures here is dealing with the angels, the spirits. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. Okay, and that's clearly showing you that the angels are controlling those vehicles. Their spirit is in those vehicles, right? Directing it. It says, when those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. Okay? And that's exactly what we see, right? This video, 6-minute video I'm going to play is, hey, those angels putting in work, right? Just showing all types of phenomena that people just can't, hey, they can't even comprehend them. They're astonished. Okay, let's see what the Lord told us about that. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1, it says, hear ye the word of which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? That's exactly what we're about to see for 6 minutes and 48 seconds, is the heathen being dismayed at these signs. Right? They're completely perplexed. Right? In one of these videos, you have these people in China, right, which shows you it's real. Okay, because sure, you'd be having some wacky, tacky videos that are completely edited of some fake ass UFOs, right? But some of them are real, and the way you know they're real is because the people in the video are also recording. That's how you know it's real. When you see 3, 4 people, right, this is not an act. They're actually seeing something in the sky, right? You hear natural reactions. Oh my God, do you see that? Do you see that shifting in and out? Right? These are natural reactions that are not just casted. Okay, you can feel the emotion of just astonishment, of fear, of being dismayed upon these people. But what did he tell the nation of Israel? Don't be like them, right? Why does he say that? Because you know what they are. Let's keep going. Another example. Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Right? Now, Zechariah here is seeing the same thing we're talking about, a so-called UFO, a chariot. It says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Right? So he was pretty much describing it, right? What it looked like, the dimensions. He said one side was longer than the other. It says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Right? And that's exactly why we see these things. Okay? It's because it's a curse. Why is it a curse? Because those are the vehicles that are going to come to destroy this coming society, or the society we're in. Those are the vehicles that are about to cause havoc, right? Completely wipe out America and the wicked. Okay? Starting with the Edomites. That's why it says, that one that stealeth, that one that sweareth, right? The wicked. It says, I will bring it forth, say the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. Right? Same thing I said. Okay? When Yahushua comes back, he's coming back with those angels, right? Those so-called UFOs, the vehicles, to just absolutely cause havoc in Babylon the Great, primarily America, and throughout the entire earth. Let's actually back that up. Let's back that up. Let's bring out another tab, because if you never read the scripture, you'll probably think it's fairy tale. Okay, but this is pretty much dealing with. Yeah, I'm getting into an entire another lesson, but it's all for edification. Second Ezra chapter 13. We'll start at verse. Um, let's do this. Acts the first chapter, because something happened in Acts the first chapter that is going to tie this thing entirely together. So Acts chapter 1, we'll start at verse 9. Okay, it says that when he had spoken these things, right, this is Yahushai, right, he was speaking, and it says that when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Now, a key thing about this is that when it's talking about a cloud, it's not talking about an actual piece of cloud, right, made like out of water. It's talking about those so-called UFOs, right, the chariots. Okay, Yahushai went up on a chariot, and we're going to prove that. One more time. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? Right? Just imagine seeing Yahushai dipping on a chariot, a magnificent chariot. Right? Just like all these people in the video we're about to see. Peter, right? Who else was there? Peter, pretty much the apostles, right? They were absolutely starstruck. So let's keep reading. It says, Why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. And that's the key point, is the same way you saw him leave in a cloud, he's coming back on a cloud, right? He's coming back on that vehicle. And let's read it. Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1, it says, And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong, with the thousands of heaven. Right? So key thing, right? I said, hey, the same way you saw him leave, same way he's coming back. What is he? Who is he coming back with? The thousands of heaven, the angels, those vehicles. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Right? And that man that is talking about here is Yahushai. And it says that whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Right? Talking about how he was pretty much, he has spiritual power, right? Shooting laser beams. And it says, And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right? And if you keep on reading down in this chapter, it completely goes into that. It goes into how all these nations, they're going to be fighting World War III, but in the midst of that, they're going to see Yahushua come back. And what are they going to do? They're going to say, hey, the problem is not between us. The problem is that so-called Negro in the sky. Right? We need to fight him, not us. Right? That's the whole damn alien. Right? Whatever language they use. Right? They're all going to get together, all the nations fighting each other, and fight Yahushua. Let's keep reading and see what it says. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. Right? Remember the cloud. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And that's crazy. Right? If you don't understand what Ezra just said, is that he saw Yahushua pretty much go on a great mountain. Right? He's pretty much dealing with a vehicle. Right? And he said, hey, I was trying to see where it came from, right? Where it began, where it ended, but I couldn't, signifying how big it was. So Yahushua, he's coming back in the mothership. He's coming back in a giant chariot. Same way he left, right? And the cloud received him out of their sight. So shall he come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Okay, proving that point. So we'll get one more scripture and I'll play the video. Let's see how much time we're at. 14 minutes. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and make no account of his labors. Right? And that's going into right now, what's going on right now. Right? The righteous men dealing with the Israelites, they're standing in great boldness because we're remembering who we are. We're remembering where we come from. We're remembering that we have the true and only power dealing specifically with us. Okay? And we're standing in great boldness before all our enemies, telling them that they are going into slavery Okay, and we are going to be the future kings. Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Right? It says the same thing in Revelation chapter 11. Right? It goes into how a great army is going to stand upon their feet and great fear is going to fall upon them. Right? Going into the great awakening, which is happening right now. And terrible fear is falling upon them because they thought that the nation of Israel would never awaken. Okay, they doubted the Lord. But here it is, he's performing his miracles. The fact I'm able to break down these scriptures is a miracle in itself. Let's keep reading. It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And that's the key point. That these heathens, these other nations, they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, the salvation of the nation of Israel, specifically the elect, right? And the reason they're going to be amazed is because they're not expecting so-called UFOs to beam up so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? You also have your Israelite foreigners, right? Those that look like the other nations. But as a collective, they're not expecting that. They think little green men are in those vehicles, right? But they're absolutely wrong, right? That's why they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of this coming salvation, right? This is going to be the grand finale, right? This is going to be the cookie on top, the creme de la creme, the finest of the finest, whatever saying you want to use. But it's all dealing with the same topic, right? Which I'm about to play right here, and I'm going to play it, and hopefully this is an edifying video. With that, I'll just give my ending now. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, but shalom.
Am I tripping or is that a UFO? Bro, what the fuck is that? Yo, that's a fucking UFO, bro. I'm not tripping. Yo, hold on, bro. It makes no fucking sense. That's in the sky. Those are planets or some shit? No way. That's a UFO, bro. That's a fucking UFO, bro. Live in effect, bro. Right in front of me. Yo. That's huge, bro. That's the shit you see in movies, bro. What the fuck? My here at 1 a.m. These niggas kidnapping somebody. Yo, that's crazy. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
It's coming towards us. Oh my God, Peter!
Something exploded and now this is in the sky. Oh, look. What is that? What is that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Something exploded. What is that? I can't. I'm recording. I don't want to move. I got to record this. What is that? Something.
哇，这是什么东西？哇，看这个！哇，太牛了！你看。UFO 啊，外星小飞虫，银河护卫队。哎，从来没见过这个东西。没有，也没有啊。人家没碰到过。
真的有一点点像 UFO 哎。
大家注意一下，这个是我今天刚刚发现的。来，我把镜头拉近，大家仔细看，我相信我们眼力好的朋友可以看出来。
我现在在四川，然后给你们看一样东西。这天上是什么？
Like, look, what the f is that? There's like a dark thing right there, and it's moving. What the f is that? Yo, what is it? Dude, it's like smoke. That bitch is moving fast too, bro. It's like fading in and out. Look at that shit, bro. What is that? I can't zoom in any further, sorry. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. What the f is that? No f***ing way those are birds, bro. No f***ing, where is it going? It's gone now. It's all the way to back there. Let's see.
Of the thing, and there's a promise that we'll get to know more. I mean, there always is with UFOs. We are always a year away from the big reveal, but he assured me that that reveal is kind of got a schedule now, and in the next year will be accelerated in a way that the whole world will find astonishing.